DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Tuesday. We got a 4-game slate, so we got a big slate for the playoffs. Real quick, let's see how we're currently doing tonight. So this is my final lineup I went with here. George Hill, Donovan Mitchell, Connaughton, Blake Griffin, Andre, Rubio, PJ Tucker, and Gobert. So, Detroit was do or die. I thought they would give a better fight. I mean, they were winning at halftime, but then just blew up in the second half. Blake and Andre are on pace for solid outings, but Blake Griffin fouled out. Andre didn't really do much in the second half, so a little disappointing for both those guys. The value guys I went with in that game were George Hill, Connaughton. Both those guys a little disappointing as well for what they've done in the series at least. And then, I want Donovan Mitchell here, Rubio, Gobert, and PJ Tucker to finalize my lineup. That game just still in the first quarter here. But, if Donovan Mitchell can pick it up, Rubio, PJ Tucker, Gobert doing solid. Maybe I'll get into the cash. Who knows? Giannis had a big game. He finally flashed some pretty big upside in the playoffs. I think he had 41 and 9 with 4 steals or something like that. So a big game there for Giannis. All right, let's look into the slate here. So 4 games. This will probably be the last 4-game slate of the playoffs here, but let's jump right into it. Westbrook, it's do or die time now for OKC. Just played really bad there in the second half against Portland. Shot the ball 5 of 21, only put up 35 fantasy points. The price dropped a bit. It's a must-win situation. Have no issue if you want to go Westbrook there. Lillard at 8.8, I think it's perfectly fine. The price dropped on him a little bit as well. It's really been CJ that's kind of been taking over here in the playoffs. Lillard taking a little bit of a backseat. He's still been playing really well, but CJ really been playing well. So I don't mind Lillard, but probably not going to be the way I go in the slate. Ben Simmons at 8.6. Now the price is starting to finally get up there. I liked him when he was in the mid-7s. 8.6 still has upside here. Still has triple-double upside for sure. If Embiid is out, that would be a huge boost. Right now, they're listing Embiid as probable, so I think Ben Simmons perfectly fine at 8.6. D'Angelo Russell at 8.1. Finally played big minutes. I really thought he'd be playing like 37, 35, upper 30s minutes in the playoffs. Finally did here that last game against Philly. And the previous few was limited to basically under 30 minutes each time. It's a crapshoot with the Nets rotations. If he's going to play 37 minutes, I like him a lot. But if he's going to play 25 to 30, I don't know if I want him. So it's just tough. Like, the minutes have been really unpredictable for him. And then you got CJ, who's really been playing good here in the playoffs. At 7.3, I think it's a little underpriced for his level of production right now. I know he's a little scoring dependent at times, but it has been getting some assists, has been getting some rebounds. So I don't mind him at all there at 7.3. Kyle Lowry. So the Toronto guys seem to be flipping off big games. It was Kawhi had the big game last time. Before that, it was Siakam. So maybe now it's Kyle Lowry's turn. 7K, I think it's still a little cheap for him, especially for he's going to play close to 40 minutes in a close game. If his shot's falling, he does have some pretty big upside. He can still get you there though, even if he doesn't score much. So I think Kyle Lowry pretty safe there at 7K. Jamal Murray at 6.3, just too inconsistent. And he does have some upside, but probably not going to be the way I go on the slate. Derek White has played good in this series. Seems priced about right there, 5.7. Schroeder, 5.3. I just think they're better plays on the board. Same thing with DJ Augustine. Dinwiddie's okay. This really has not flashed any upside here in the playoffs, so probably not for me either. Bryn Forbes, Monte Morris, Van Fleet, Beasley. These are all guys you can consider value plays. Don't mind them. You're going to have to play some scrubs here. So Forbes, Monte Morris, Beasley, Van Fleet, I think are all definitely in play. Let's move on to shooting guard here. DeRozan at 7.9. Just no one on the Spurs really stands out. He can get you 50 fantasy points for sure, but I just think they're probably better plays on the board. Jimmy Butler at 7.1. Had that one big game, the first game of the series, but other than that, kind of been taking a back seat. Hasn't flashed really a big upside. If Embiid plays, I'm probably just going to stay away from Butler. But if Embiid misses, then I'm all about the other big three of Philly, Then I really like Boban, Greg Monroe. So it will be a whole different story. But if Embiid plays, I'm probably off Jimmy Butler. And then you got LeVert. He's going to be really chalky here. Played 42 minutes last time out. Picked up the start. Played 42 minutes. The issue with him was just he wasn't seeing enough minutes. But now, I see the 42-minute upside. Now, can we trust that he's going to get 42 minutes again? I don't think so. The Nets rotations are always wacky. But, it was big that he picked up the start and he played that many minutes. Now, he's going to be really chalky. But he's looked good. He's being aggressive on offense. He seems too cheap. Even if he plays 35 minutes, I still think he gets you there. So I'll probably be eating the chalk on LeVert at 5.9. Gary Harris, I liked him when he was, 3.9 to 4.2, whatever he was. 5.1, not enough meat on the bone for me. Terrence Ross, he does have upside, but just too scoring dependent. Not a guy I ever play. Fournier really has not flashed on the upside as well. Don't think I'm going to go there. JJ Redick, another guy I really don't play a whole lot. Too scoring dependent now. If Embiid misses, maybe I would consider JJ, but it really would be the other big three, and Boban and Monroe, who I had the most interest in if Embiid does miss. Barton got benched, don't want to go there, 4.5. Danny Green, too scoring dependent. Joe Harris, no upside at all. I talked about Forbes, Van Fleet, Beasley. Guys, you can get Beasley has been playing pretty well in the series. 23, 28, 25 minutes, 3.7. I think he definitely a solid value play for salary relief. Small forward, again, OKC, they're in must-win situation. Paul George, 9K. He's been playing pretty well in this series. Definitely been playing better than Westbrook. I don't mind him at all there. Again, they need to win, so I really think Paul George, Westbrook are solid plays. Kawhi Leonard, the big three of Toronto, with him, Pascal, and Kyle Lowry, they just been switching off good games. Kawhi had the big game last time. Siakam had the big game before that. So maybe, like I said, maybe it's Kyle Lowry's turn. It's kind of hard to predict. These Toronto guys has been pretty, back and forth with, having big games and then having kind of quiet games. So I have no issue with Kawhi. I'm just a little uncertain with, the big three of Toronto there. Let's see. Tobias Harris been playing really well here. Last couple games, that big game with no Embiid. I played him there, 58 fantasy points. Still put up 47 fantasy points with Embiid in 43 minutes. Now, Brooklyn, not a good defensive team at all. This is one of the higher over-unders. So, at 6.8, I think he's going to be a little chalky as well. He can definitely bust. We have seen, a floor with Tobias, but right now he's flashing the upside. His shot's fallen. So I do like Tobias, probably leaning towards eating the chalk with him as well. Aaron Gordon at 6.6, perfectly fine. He did have a big game last time out, but I would probably just prefer playing Tobias there in a better matchup. Let's see. Aminu, Harkless. The issue with them was the minutes. But 33 and 30 last two for Aminu, and then Harkless, 34 each the last two. If they're going to play, mid to low 30s minutes, then I think Aminu and Harkless perfectly fine there in the mid fours. Jonathan Isaac, the minutes are way too unpredictable for him. I just can't go there. He's too low of a usage guy as well. DeMar Carroll, not seeing enough minutes for me. Torrey Craig, had a pretty big game last time out, was knocking down a lot of shots. Shot ball 6 of 9. I don't think we're going to expect that again, but at 3.4K, he played 37 minutes, picked up the start. If he's going to start again, I think he'll be really chalky, but it's on a slate that kind of lacks value again. Those playoff slates, there's really not a whole lot of great value plays. If he's going to start, I'd assume he plays, probably 25 to 30 minutes at least at 3.4K. I know he's more of a low usage guy, but if he can knock down a couple shots, I think he's a really solid value play there. So we'll wait for a starting lineup, but if he starts, I think Torrey Craig, 3.4K, a pretty solid value play there. Power forward, Aldridge, it hasn't really flashed upside in this series. I just don't want to go there. Siakam, again, him, Kawhi, Kyle Lowry, been switching off, having good games. Don't mind any of them, just a little hard to predict. Millsap really has not looked good. Hasn't really flashed any upside. I don't think I want to go there. Jeremy Grant, perfectly fine there for cash games at 5.1. Rudy Gay, 5K, okay. I think he's okay. Ibaka, price is finally dropping on him. He's going to play 20 minutes, but I still don't think I can go there with Ibaka. Plumlee, 3.7. He's going to play 15 minutes or so. He definitely can get you there in that time. I guess he's okay. RHJ, if there's no Ed Davis, he'll probably see 15 minutes or so. I don't know if that'll be enough, though. Other than that, I really don't see a whole lot. So let's move on to center. Center's definitely the way to go. I'm for sure going to the two-center approach here on this four-game slate. Embiid at 10K. Right now, listed as probable. If he's going to play, played 32 minutes last game against Brooklyn. This guy is a beast when he gets minutes. Brooklyn, one of the worst teams to defend center. So if Embiid plays, I think he'll be really chalky at 10K. But if he's going to play close to 30 minutes, you got to like him here at this price. Jokic, 9.3. Really like him as well. The Spurs kind of their defense has been, pivoted to try and stop Jokic, but he's been playing really well. The minutes been there too, 36, 39, 32, 39 minutes. He's a triple-double upside every time he takes the court. So I do like Jokic a lot here at 9.3. Vucevic, flash upside one game in the series, but I just prefer Embiid and Jokic to him. I just don't think I want to go there with Vucevic. Cantor, 6.1. Another guy that has some pretty big upside. Only shot the ball 4 times last game. Pretty surprising, but still got you 30 fantasy points. If he's being a little more aggressive on the offensive end, like we saw in that first game of the series, he does have upside. So I think Enes Kanter, perfectly fine with some upside there. Steven Adams, again, more of the cash game play. I prefer Kanter and GPPs. Marc Gasol, another mid-tier guy that you can play in cash games, so it doesn't really have a whole lot of upside. And then Jared Allen. Played 32 minutes last game against Philly. Got you 40 fantasy points. If there's no Ed Davis again, Brooklyn's thin on bigs. So I think Jared Allen would be pretty solid play here, 5.4K. If we can trust he's going to play those type of minutes. Boban, it would be him and Greg Monroe, who I'd really like if there's no Embiid. But right now, Embiid probable. Boban probably going to play 15 minutes or so at 4.4. He can definitely get you there in that time. But I think center's too valuable for me to waste a spot in 15 minutes of Boban. Jakob Poeltl, 4.1. I'm considering as a value center here. Played 30 minutes each of the last 2 games. They need his defense on Jokic. Not a very high usage guy, but if he's going to play 30 minutes, he's probably going to get you 20 to 25 fantasy points. So I don't mind Jakob Poeltl at all there. And then, I think that's about it. So my approach, I think, for the 4-game slate, I want to go with a 2-center approach, whether it be Embiid and Jokic, sparing 2 high-end centers, or Embiid and maybe Jakob Poeltl, or Jokic, Jakob Poeltl, maybe Jokic and Allen, or Embiid and Allen. So those are kind of the 4 centers. Even Kanter I would consider as well, that I want to try to get into a lineup. So definitely going to go with a 2-center approach. And then LeVert, he's going to be really chalky. Probably going to eat the chalk on him. Tobias thinks going to be chalky. If I can fit him, I'll eat the chalk on Tobias as well. And then you got to go with some value plays somewhere. That you got Torrey Craig. Who's some other value plays that I like? Torrey Craig, if he's going to start again, I think he's just too cheap there at 3.4. Let's see. Beasley even played solid at 3.7. Definitely he's in play. Plumlee, you can play him. Jakob Poeltl, I talked about him. I do like him. So those are some of the value guys that I would consider for sure. I think that's enough for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like the video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave in the comment section down below. So support and follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts and more news out throughout the day. And I'll be back for another video on Wednesday, so I'll see you guys then.